right. So we are going to go over 2 exponent rules today and then 2 tomorrow. Thursday is what I mean. Today we are going over 2 exponent rules of multiplication. So the first thing that's important that we know about exponents is what they are. An exponent is the number of times a base is multiplied by itself. So x to the third means x times x times x. It's x multiplied together 3 times. X to the fourth means x times x times x times x. A base can be a number, it can be a variable, it can be both. We're going to start with our first ones as just variables. So our first example A here is x to the third times x to the fourth. We, on this first really long blank, are going to do what's called expanding that into what that really means. So I just told you, what does x to the third mean? X to the third means x times x, just 3 of them. So first thing I want you to do in parentheses is write down x times x times x. That is x to the third. Then, in another set of parentheses, we are multiplying that by x to the fourth. What does x to the fourth mean? 4 of them. Awesome. So x times x times x times x. So I've got 3 of them, and then I've got 4 of them. So this is me expanding this, making it more complicated. And then I am going to condense it down for my final answer. How many x's do I have that I'm multiplying together here? I've got 3, and then I've got 4. How many total do I have? 7. So I could write this as x to the 7th power. So x to the third times x to the fourth is x to the 7th. Okay, the next one's super similar. We're starting with x to the fourth. So I'm going to put down 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my next piece is x to the third. So I'm putting down 1, 2, 3. And then this last guy, how many x's do I have here? 1. I can put in an imaginary exponent of 1 right here. I would go ahead and do that. That's going to help you in a second. So I'm just going to put down my 1 by itself. Okay, how many total exponents do I have there? Or how many total x's do I have there? 8. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got x to the 8th power. Okay, last one. We've got 3y to the 5th times 2y to the 4th. We're going to go ahead and multiply all of those. So for the 3, it just stays a 3. It's just a normal number. So my first set of parentheses, I'm going to have 3, and then I've got 5 y's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my second set, I've got my 2, and I have 4 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. With multiplication, order doesn't matter. So I could rearrange all of this and put the 3 and the 2 together and just treat them like normal numbers. So those just stay normal numbers. What's 3 times 2? 6. So I have a 6. And then how many y's do I have? 9. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we are not going to have you write out all of these x's, all of these y's, all of these random letters on every problem. The reason why we did this is we wanted to show you guys why these rules work. So what I would like for you, does anyone have any questions right now about what we've done so far? Okay, so then do not shout out yet because I want everyone to have a chance to look at it. I would like, ignore this part in the middle. I would like for you to look at your original problems and your answers and see if you can find the pattern of how we can get to from here to here without doing all of this. So take about 30 seconds to look at your original exponents in your answer. Do not shout anything out yet. Okay, hold on just a second. Hey, actually, before we just talk, turn to the people around you. If you think you know what it is, talk to the people around you. What do you do to get your exponents? Okay. Hey, how did this 3 and 4 become 7? Add it. 4 plus 3 plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. So, this is called the product rule of exponents. To multiply terms with the same base, you can just add the exponents. You have to remember, though, this 3 and this 2, those are just normal numbers, so that's why they just multiply like normal numbers, and that's why this is a 6. Any questions about those guys? Okay, we are going to learn one more rule today. It's the power rule. It's down below this. So if you guys notice, these all have the same base and then the exponents. Down below here, this is the power rule. We are taking something that has an exponent up to another exponent. So we are going to go ahead and expand these a little bit, but not all the way, because we already know the product rule. So, actually, no, we're going to expand them all the way. I go back and forth with what I want to do. Let's expand them all the way. So this first one, we have x to the third squared. What does it mean to square something? Linnea. Multiply it by itself. Yeah. So we are going to go ahead and multiply this x to the third, which means x times x times x, by itself, which is x times x times x. Okay? So this is, each of these is an x to the third, and then we're multiplying it by itself. So this is x to the third, this is x to the third. How many x's do I have there total? 6. So this is going to be x to the 6th. Okay, next one. We've got 2y squared to the third. So each 2y squared means 2 times y, and then we're going to have 3 of them. 2 times y, 2 times y. Any questions about expanding that? Okay, let's deal with the 2's then. We've got 2 times 2 times 2. So how many 2's do I have? Or, well, not how many 2's do I have. What is that? 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, not 6. People always want it to be 6. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got y to the 6. Okay, any questions about those guys? Okay, on this next one, I'm going to go ahead and put an imaginary 1 on my b. And let's look at this one. So I've got a to the third, b to the first, and then I need 3 of those. So each set of parentheses is going to be a times a times a times b. I'm going to have 3 of those. A times a times a times b. A times a times b. Hey, how many a's do I have total? 9. So I've got a to the 9th. That looks like a 9 and not an a. And how many b's do I have total? 3. Awesome. Hey, I want you guys to do the same thing you did on the last one and look at your exponents and see if you can come up with the rule. So take a second, take like 15 seconds to see if you can come up with the rule. Okay, talk to the people around you. Hey, what do you guys do with those exponents? You multiply them. So right here we did 3 times 2 to get 6. Right here we did 2 times 3 to get 6. And then right here we did 3 times 3 to get the 9. 1 times 3 to get the 3. So the power rule tells us if you are raising a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. For the number part, you treat it as a normal number. So right here we did 2 to the third, which is 2 times 2 times 2. And that's how we got the 8. So you always treat the numbers like normal numbers. If they're being multiplied, multiply them. If they have a power, take them to the power. But a power to a power, you get to multiply. Any questions right now? Hey, we're going to flip this over then, and we're going to start using these rules without expanding. So we've got 2 rules, the power rule and the product rule. So you got to remember, am I multiplying things together that have the same base, or am I taking a power to a power? So this first one here, this is power rule, because I'm taking a power to a power. If you need to put a little note to yourself that this is power rule, you can. For my exponents, I am going to multiply them. So f to the 4th to the 6th, I multiply that 4 times 6, and I get f to the 24th. Then, for g to the 5th to the 6th, I multiply those. 5 times 6 is 30. So I get g to the 30th. Okay, any questions on that guy? Hey, next one, this is a product rule because I'm multiplying these two things together. So the numbers, I'm going to treat like normal numbers. Middle row, second back. Grace. I'm going to treat my -3 and my 4 like normal numbers. It's going to be -12. And then because it's product rule, because I'm multiplying, I get to add my exponents. So my x to the 3rd and my x to the 5th, I'm going to add those. 3 plus 5 is 8. X to the 8th. And then any number time you have a letter without an exponent, you put in your imaginary 1. So I'm going to add my 4 plus 1 to be 4. Just kidding, 5. I can add. Okay, any questions on either of those? Hey, next one, this 2x to the 11th, 5x to the 3rd. What rule am I using there? Product, because I am multiplying. Product is just the answer to a multiplication problem. So product rule. My 2 and my 5, treat them like normal. I've got 10. And then x to the 11th and x to the 3rd, add them together. I've got x to the 14th. Okay, next one, I've got power rule because I'm taking everything that's in those parentheses to the 4th power. First thing that I need to deal with is 4 to the 4th power, which I do not know off the top of my head. You can figure it out by doing 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. You can also, in your calculators, if you don't want to have to type in all of those 4s, your exponent button in your calculator is over on the left. So if you use, just kidding, over on the right. So if you use this caret key here, you can do 4 to the 4th power, and I get 256. Or I can think 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, times another 4 is 256. But 4 to the 4th power is 256. Then my exponents are the easier part because power to a power, I am multiplying my exponents. So 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, any questions? Hey, last one. Last row, last 2. Next one I've got, this is another power rule. Anytime I see parentheses today, it's probably going to be power rule. I need to do -3 squared. What is -3 squared? Positive 9. Because remember, a negative times negative is positive. I've got an imaginary 1 right here. So I can do 1 times 2 to have x squared. And then I can do 6 times 2 to have y to the 12th. Hey, and then the very last one is a product rule. I've got 2 different bases here, so I just keep each base with itself. So my numbers I treat like normal. 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12. And I add up all of my m's. So 2 plus 7 is 9. And then I add up all of my n's. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Into the 10th. Okay. Any questions right now? Hey, you guys can go ahead and glue these in. You can just stick them after 4.7. We're not going to make a new pocket. It's just 2 lessons. On your assignment, you are doing what we did on the back here. You are using the rules. Do not, for the love of all things, sit here and when it says W to the 6, write down 6 W's. Okay? When it says B to the 13th to the 4th, if you write down 52 B's and then try to count 52 B's. I'm going to be a tidge frustrated with you, okay? So on the front, when we expanded, that is for us to just see how the rules work. On the back, this is us using the rules. So on your assignment, you're just using the rules. Okay, I'm going to stop this video. Thank you very much, Atlas.